Hello guys and gals of the internet, this is something else of YouTube, Mixer and Twitch TV. And today is 26th of May 2019, it is channel update time. And this has been pretty much the first video in 3 weeks. And there are a few differences as you can see. We're actually doing this from a webcam now. And we've actually have this overlay here, which I'm going to incorporate in future vlogs. Just so you guys can see these where to find me on the top here. The only reason that the webcam looks like it's in a negative space box is because I'm using this element from I'm using this overlay from Stream Elements, and whereas some elements are customizable in terms of these at the top, some are not, and this was the one that had all the customization icons for these. But unfortunately, that means the webcam box cannot be edited. It was actually pre-made. So unfortunately, as you can probably tell, we have some negative space in this webcam box. Basically, the reason for that is because this is a 1080p webcam. This is actually going to be the first video I'm using in it now, because as you can tell, we are on OBS and on my PC. Now, there's a reason for that. This wasn't actually going to be until later, because today, actually, which is quite a funny story, the uncle actually left about an hour or so ago, and it is 11:20 p.m. By the way, right now. And the uncle came around to basically drop some stuff off, as you can see behind me. And basically, this was due to the problem that we had, and explained in the last update. Basically, in the last update, you actually heard my fans actually revving, and it kind of worried me a bit. So I did kind of two things. I used the PC less because I didn't want to have any lasting damage to anything in the PC, because I didn't know what the problem was with the PC, with the fan cooler, or like the cooler or the fans in the cooler. So I didn't want to. I figured it was the cooler because it was very similar sound to my problems in 2016 or 15. It was around Mortal Kombat X time, basically, and yeah, so I kind of figured, oh no, not another cooler in the last update. And I was like, oh great. And obviously this was just after this new adjustment to the setup was completed, that you will see in full in a video soon. And this was just after that, so I was kind of like, oh, I was really bummed out. I was like, damn it. It turns out that so I didn't want to. Number one, I had a couple of videos from the Coach Pop era to edit. And I didn't want to render them and burn the processor out because the coolers weren't working right, if that was the problem. And number two, I didn't want to record any videos with you guys from Project PC, which is still yet to go up. The next game will be Batman Telltale Series Season 1. And basically, I didn't want to do any more of Project PC with you guys hearing my loud fans in the background. I thought it'd be quite distracting. So that held true. I have no videos of that to do that. So I was going to do no videos anyway, but I decided to go on. I got some reassurance from my uncle a few days later, and he reassured me. He said the PC's probably fine, just use it and just keep using it. But I was like, okay, so I won't do any videos. I'll just do some streams, and that's the reason for the Stream Elements thing, you see, because I've been using it during the streams that I've had during the 3-week YouTube absence. He basically came round an hour ago, took one look at heard the PC fans, took one look at it, adjusted something, and as you can probably tell, it's fine. Figures. Basically, he switched the fan headers, and there you go. Now, what's quite funny is it still makes a noise, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. If this was being recorded before he did that, you would hear it every now and then in the background. Now you're barely hearing anything at all. And the funny thing is, Time Ladies was actually doing the same thing. Me and Time Lady are basically on the same level of noise now. The noise is barely there at all. And basically it's the fans that are the problem. The fans are just that, they just do it. Basically, they're just crap fans, as his words, So it's not a big deal. It's like, oh, figures, I had nothing wrong with the PC the whole time, but at the same time, I didn't know that, so I couldn't make the adjustments to the fans myself, fix it, and then start recording Project PC again. And like I said, with Project PC being PC game specific, I didn't want you guys hearing that riffing sound in the background. So it's like, oh, figures, but at the same time, it was better to be safe than sorry and not record anything with loud droning fans in the background. And that basically held true to Coach Pop Season 2 as well, which will obviously be back pretty soon. I still have a video I need to render, and I will do that now because we are nearing the kind of back return, as it were. Now, the plan for tomorrow is to change the cooler. We're still going to change the coolers because number one, he'd already bought the coolers, thinking that was the issue to begin with, and number two, they're still making a noise. It's nowhere near as bad, but they're still making a noise. Not great. And obviously, I think I might have mentioned this in the previous video, but this is the beauty we're replacing them with. Now, these fans, from what I have on good authority in YouTube videos, are really good, quiet fans. So, hell yeah, sign me up for that stuff. So that's what we're going to replace them with tomorrow. Now, I would do it myself, but I'm not a PC building buff. So tomorrow, the uncle was always going to come over anyway and make some finishing touches to the setup. So, best to do that whilst he's there. And that's the stuff behind me, Lay Tame's double mount bracket and all that for her setup. It's just across the way there. Is going to be done, and that's why that's there, and her cooler's there as well. So basically, we've got the same cooler, and we had the same cooler before. Now we've got even more of the same cooler now. And NZXT are really great. I have one of their cases, which I'll show you in a later video. So yeah, he was going to do this anyway. It's no real big change. It's just how we have to make a change to the cooler because our coolers are naff, or at least the fans in it are. His words. But yeah, figures. I had no problems whatsoever. It was just the fans that were doing it anyway. But like I said, I couldn't do any videos with that sound in the background. Now, obviously, I've had 2 or 3 recently. The most recent ones you will know is one from Coach Pop era that I already had edited and ready to go, and 2 others from Life is Strange Before the Storm and Jurassic Park. Basically, the reason why those are there for 2 things. I decided to test my headset's microphone for recording. Say if my Bulletti breaks and I want to do some videos, and then I've got the backup of the headset to do it. The headset mic is actually really good. You can obviously tell the difference between the Blue Yeti, and a headset mic, but it's actually really good. And the one thing I noticed at the end of the test was that the fan was barely audible through my headset mic. And as you guys may have noticed or may not, but I certainly did, there was a video missing from Life is Strange Before the Storm and Jurassic Park. Basically, the one in Before the Storm was, we got to the part just before Chloe was about to say, "Oh, Annihilation Strike, that sounds boss as fuck." We missed that whole thing and went straight to the train scene with Rachel Amber in the next video. So that was a video missing. So I decided to re-record that and put that up, and with the headset mic. And I also had to do that for Jurassic Park, because there was a video missing there. Now, there's still a couple of playthroughs that have a missing video. Another one is Indigo Prophecy, which I will re-record. Basically, I was doing that with the Media back then, so that's probably inevitable. There was a video that didn't actually record, and I didn't notice it until I finished it, but I've just remembered that I needed to do that now, so I'll do that at a later date. And the other one is Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Now, the reason why that one isn't there is because it is a part where the Drake brothers are in this house, and you find this Polaroid. And basically, I named that part the Life is Strange Polaroid. And because I cleared out my Life is Strange playthroughs to prepare for Project PC, I deleted that video by mistake. So I need to re-record that. And I also deleted one of the Gears of War 4 playthrough videos by mistake as well. But that's already been re-recorded and put back up. So I still need to do another video for Indigo Prophecy and Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. I will get those done when I can do so. Obviously, I'm in the midst of Project PC, and I'm having this done. So, yeah, there is that. So, yeah, I will get those pretty much done. Yeah, figures. So obviously, when this goes in, we'll probably take a couple of days maybe to break it in. Maybe I'll record something because obviously, as you guys know, I still have yet to do my online character medley set on Mortal Kombat 11. I also have to continue Project PC, and also need to kind of break in this cooler and see how it runs and works and everything. And what I also need to do when that's done and when we're all settled and ready to go we are obviously going to do a setup tour. Because obviously with the last channel update being sort of bad news, that put that video on hold for a bit. So we're going to show you how the setup has changed since before the start of Project PC. You could probably tell, you probably see from this angle that the setup has changed a bit since that Project PC introductory video and that update I did beforehand. So the setup has changed. We're actually going to do that and show you the new setup, and we're going to tell you what's in the PC and everything. If you've been on my Twitch channel, you already know it because I already have the specs on there. But for those who don't, I will let you know. And obviously, you've just seen one of the parts in it with the Kraken cooler. So we'll do the setup video. We were actually thinking of doing a channel update for our YouTube channels because we don't have one at the moment, because so much about our setup has changed since we first recorded our channel trailers. That will still be coming, and it will still be a dual channel trailer, because we're just going to do one where it involves both myself and Tom Lady, because there's no point us doing separate ones when we basically use the same equipment, basically game in the same room now, as you'll see by the setup video. And yeah, there's just no point doing separate channel trailers when we basically do the same thing. The only real difference between our YouTube channels is that I do majority of games, and Tom Lady only does specific ones. She only does games like co-op in them, like Gears or Resident Evil 6 or, something like that. So, that's the only real difference in our channels. So we'll probably just point that out. But we don't know whether to wait because something is coming hopefully later this year. When we get some more clarification on it, we'll let you guys know. But something real big is happening, cool, or could be happening this year. And we don't know if there's going to be any point recording our channel trailers at this very moment, if it's going to really change drastically by the time the end of the year comes around. Now, obviously, like I said, it's not a wedding, but which wouldn't change much anyway, only Tom Lady's surname. But I don't know if there's going to be any real point having a channel trailer done right now when it could be so different in a few months' time and we have to re-record it anyway. So I think what we're probably going to do is just wait on that and wait till we get more clarification on everything. It just makes sense to do that. But we will still do our current setup video just to show you guys how it looks. Obviously, we'll be doing some videos later in the year that kind of shows you what could be happening. But we don't want to really talk about it yet because we don't really know ourselves. We have to wait for some things to happen and be ready to do first. So we'll still do that video. We'll still show you how our setups look and everything. And that'll be when the uncle leaves. I'm not sure if I'll do Project PC the same week or not. It depends. I might do. I mean, I want to record Mortal Kombat 11's character medley, so I might do that first. Actually, I might do both this week. I might be so back into like the moment this cooler goes in, I'm going to be really just back on my PC, just doing the hell out of it. So it might even be middle. I would say probably the middle of the week. You will probably see the setup video. By the end of the week, you might see Project PC return with Batman Telltale series, and obviously I'll put the character medley from Mortal Kombat 11 up with it. If we can do. And obviously you'll see the continuation of Coach Pop. That is almost finished. The season is already finished, as you guys know, but obviously that means now with the quieter coolers I can record my games again and not have loud droning sounds in the background. So I still need to finish Coach Pop Season 2. I need to do the recording of the character medley from Mortal Kombat 11, and then obviously Project PC continues with Batman Telltale series and so on after that. So that'll be probably coming all this week, I would say. Now, that's just rough. I'm not confirming anything right now because, with me, I schedule things and they don't normally work out. Something happens normally. But fingers crossed, by the end of the week, videos will now be a more common thing on the channel again, now that this call is going to be put in tomorrow. Now, one thing I want to mention quickly is at the end of the week, probably this weekend, if we can get round to it, be on our Twitch and Mixer streaming channels, because myself and Tom Video Games are going to be basically starting our marathon of the Borderlands series. Now, we've never played Borderlands before. We do know some bits and pieces of it, but we've never really played it. And the reason why we are really into it now is for two things. Number one, obviously, is to prepare for Borderlands 3, but the real reason why we're really into Borderlands at the moment is Tales from the Borderlands, actually. As you may have noticed from us in particular, Telltale Games have got us into a lot of series, and Borderlands is one of them. And we're really excited about Borderlands 3, and we've seen some characters in Borderlands 3 that are like, yes, from Tales. So we figured, you know what, we're gonna do. We might as well marathon the Borderlands series, and basically when the callers get put in, we could even start it right now if we wanted. But when the new callers get in, it'll be the best time to do it. So keep an eye on our streaming channels. We'll be probably on at weekends, because we've got this kind of schedule where we kind of record things on weekends now, because we're less busy at weekends. Tom Lady at Night has all our kind of TV channels on and stuff. So with all of that not on a weekend, and say there's a missing weekend where no race or no Grand Prix or football's on, it gives us plenty of time to do some games. So one of the things we will be doing is Borderlands the series, and we'll be starting with we'll be starting with number 1 actually, because number 1 is first in the timeline, I suppose, and it's pre-sequel and 2, isn't it, babes? Yeah, okay. So that's how that works. So maybe this weekend, more than likely, if we do stream this weekend, it will be Borderlands. I'm not going to go too far into the future now. There is a couple of things I want to mention. Obviously, when Project PC finishes, we'll probably do some Resident Evil 6. We're not really sure of how that's going to go yet, but I need to get a move on, with Project PC, because next month is 2 huge releases coming out with Crash Team Racing Remastered, which we are seriously looking forward to. I'm kind of undecided on a console to pre-order it yet. I think I'm leaning towards Xbox, because one of the things I want to make sure with Crash Team Racing is that we have people to play with. And I think on the Xbox we would have enough people. We'd have our friend Callum, our friend English Avenger. I would pretty much think he would like to pick it up if he knows what Crash Team Racing is. We have a couple other friends, obviously Tommy's cousin will get them, her cousins will get them as well. So I think we're leaning towards Xbox, because we have more friends on Xbox to play with, whereas on PS4 I only have 1. So I want to play with as many people as possible. I might see if I can convince my other friend to get the Xbox version, because he does have an Xbox, but he said he would get it for PS4, and I was like, well, I'm leaning more towards Xbox because I have more people on there. But we'll see. I haven't pre-ordered it yet because I'm really undecided, but we're probably leaning towards the Xbox version because we'll have more possible people to play with. Crash Team Racing will be a playthrough. I will be doing the playthrough of the adventure mode. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'll do what I can, and we'll talk more about that in the 7 Chaos previous episodes that I will inevitably do for Crash Team Racing. The last thing I'll probably mention for now is Formula 1 19, sorry. I can't believe I got that wrong, shit. 2019, I don't really know what to do with that game yet, because obviously I'm going to feature F1 2019 in my Ultimate Reality storyline that started with the Michael Schumacher years back in the 2006 season. I might do some one-off videos of that game. One thing I will definitely be doing for that game is the scenario mode, because as you know, through the Legends edition of the game with Senna and Prost in it, they have these specific scenarios of defining moments throughout their rivalry for Senna and Prost. So I'll probably do that as kind of a mini playthrough. It's not really going to be a playthrough, but all the scenarios in it. I might do some one-off videos of certain things. My first ever F2 weekend would be pretty good. I want to rewrite history in a certain race that you guys will, the Bahrain Grand Prix, so you guys will know what I'm talking about there. And my first race with Mick Schumacher in the Formula 1 game, because the 2019 F2 season is going to be added later by Codemasters later in the year as a free update, and I want to do my first ever race with Mick Schumacher on Spa. So there'll be some one-off videos for 2019, and obviously the bigger bulk of the videos will be during my Alternate Reality storyline. But part of me wants to do a World Championship mode, but with Schumacher when the 2019 season comes out. But at the same time, I'm probably going to feature in my Alternate Reality storyline, so what will be the point? But the thing is, we've got a long way to go before we even get there. So I might just do something anyway. But yeah, for F1 2019, I'll probably have some more one-off videos this year, because with the other F1 games, I've barely done any videos on them. And 2006 obviously did the entire season. F1 2010 I had to reboot because I lost the save file, and that will be coming back at some point in the future as well. So for 2019, I'm probably going to make a bit more of an effort just to get some one-off videos out there and just kind of, casually play it. So it'll be my first F2 race, rewriting the Bahrain Grand Prix because I feel Charles Leclerc was robbed. And I'm a big Charles Leclerc fan. And the first race ever with Mick Schumacher when the 2019 season is added, and that will be round Spa. I'm basically giving it away, but, why not? So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this update. So, it's almost time for my comeback again. And, that's pretty much the idea. So, I could basically do whatever I wanted now anyway, because the PC's not making a loud noise, but it was better to be safe, and not break the PC and have the loud droning noise in the background during videos. Just wouldn't have made for great videos. So, yeah, I will get this out, and I will see you all later this week for some video. It depends what will come out first. Probably the setup video. We'll probably get that done first before we do anything else. And obviously we'll probably give it a couple of days just to break it in and make sure everything's working fine. So probably middle of this week coming up, you will probably see the setup video, and that will be what I'll go first. Obviously you'll probably see a coach part video that I have backlogged as well, so that probably might come out first. But for the main video, we are going to do our setup probably in the middle of the week, after giving it a couple of days of just making sure everything works and is in place. So, that is it for this video before it goes too long, because it's already at 20 minutes. I am almost back, and I'm very happy about it. And I hope you guys are excited to see the return of Project PC, and obviously on our streaming channels, check out on the weekend where we may be able to start Borderlands 1. So, yeah, the only reason we're doing that on stream is because, for obvious reasons, it's a long game, and it would take a year for us to upload a playthrough of something like Borderlands, because it's so long. So we decided to make them stream exclusives instead. I've already mentioned that before. But as it for this video, and I'm actually chuffed because now my PC can actually, like, it was always working. It was never gonna break, so that's a relief. It was just the fans that were making loud noises because they're not that great. We'll have this new one put in tomorrow, and you'll barely hear anything coming from this PC after that, I'm sure, because these ones are damn good, apparently. So, yeah, we are almost ready to roll and ready to return to regular playing videos and recording videos again. So, hooray. Alright, guys, I will see you in the middle of next week. Well, this week now, depending on when this video goes out. But, yeah, I will see you for that and the setup video and the return of Project PC very soon, guys. I'm almost back, and I'm happy about it. I will see you at that point. Peace out, guys. As always, stay awesome.